In part 1 of today's class, we talked about variations, which is individual differences. We talked about psychological attributes. We talked about assessment and assessment methods. And then we ended with the two approaches to intelligence. Now we are going to look at the different theories under the psychometric approach. The first theory under the psychometric approach is the uni or one factor theory given by Alfred Binet. He saw intelligence as consisting of one similar set of abilities which can be used for solving any or every problem in an individual's environment. Binet's theory of intelligence was rather simple because it rose from his interest in differentiating more intelligent from less intelligent individuals. However, Binet's theory of intelligence was disputed when psychologists started analyzing data of individuals which was collected using Binet's test. So his idea of intelligence having a similar set of abilities wasn't valid. The second intelligence theory under the psychometric approach was given by Charles Spearman, and it is called the two-factor theory. Charles Spearman used a statistical method called factor analysis and came up with the idea that intelligence consists of a general factor and a specific factor. According to Spearman, the G factor includes mental operations which are primary and common to all performances. For example, we all require certain mental operations to function normally in everyday life. The S factor, on the other hand, includes specific or special abilities that are required to excel in any field. The third theory of intelligence under the psychometric approach was given by Louis Thurstone, called the theory of primary mental abilities. According to him, intelligence consists of 7 primary mental abilities. Each of these abilities are relatively independent of the others. Following are the mental abilities as mentioned by Louis Thurstone. Verbal comprehension, referring to grasping meaning of words and concepts. Numerical abilities, referring to accuracy in numerical and computational skills. Spatial relations, referring to visualizing patterns and forms in space. Perceptual speed, referring to speed in perceiving details. Word fluency refers to using words fluently and flexibly. Memory refers to accuracy in recalling information. Inductive reasoning refers to deriving general rules from presented facts. The fourth theory of intelligence was given by Arthur Jensen, called the hierarchical model of intelligence. He looked at intelligence as consisting of abilities operating at 2 levels. Level 1, according to him, is the associative learning in which output is more or less similar to input. An example of this is rote learning or memorizing, where there is no need to understand the details of what is being memorized. Level 2 is called cognitive competence, which involves higher order skills as they transform the input to produce an effective output. The fifth theory of intelligence was given by J.P. Guilford, called the structure of intellect model. He classifies intellectual traits among 3 dimensions. Operations is the first dimension of the 3 dimensions of the intellectual traits given by J.P. Guilford. Operations are what the respondent does. This includes different kinds of thinking, that's cognition, memory, and evaluation. Contents is the second dimension of the intellectual traits given by J.P. Guilford. It refers to the nature of materials or information on which intellectual operations are performed. These can include visual, auditory, symbolic, semantic, and behavioral materials for information. The third dimension is products. Products refer to the form in which information is processed by the respondent. These can be classified into units, classes, relations, systems, transformations, and implications. The 5 theories covered so far are included within the psychometric approach. The theory of multiple intelligences is not mentioned specifically to be under the information processing approach. However, if you are asked, you can mention that it is part of the information processing approach. The theory of multiple intelligences was given by Howard Gardner. According to him, intelligence is not a single entity. Rather, distinct types of intelligences exist, and each of these intelligences are independent of each other. This means that if a person exhibits one type of intelligence, it does not necessarily indicate being high or low on other types of intelligences. Gardner also put forth that different types of intelligences interact and work together to find a solution to a problem. Linguistic intelligence is the first under the theory of multiple intelligences. This refers to the capacity to use language fluently and flexibly to express one's thinking and understand others. Poets and writers are very strong in this component of intelligence. Second in the theory of multiple intelligences is logical mathematical intelligence. Persons high on this type of intelligence can think logically and critically. Scientists and Nobel Prize winners are likely to be strong in this component. Spatial intelligence refers to the abilities involved in forming, using, and transforming mental images. Pilots, sailors, sculptors, painters, architects, interior decorators, and surgeons are likely to have highly developed spatial intelligence. Musical intelligence is the fourth under the theory of multiple intelligences. It is the capacity to produce, create, and manipulate musical patterns. Persons high on this intelligence are very sensitive to sounds and vibrations and in creating new patterns of sounds. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence consists of the use of the whole body or portions of it for display or construction of products and problem solving. Athletes, dancers, actors, sportspersons, gymnasts, and surgeons are likely to have such kind of intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence refers to the skill of understanding the motives, feelings, and behaviors of other people so as to bond into a comfortable relationship with others. Psychologists, counselors, politicians, social workers, and religious leaders are likely to possess high interpersonal intelligence. Intrapersonal intelligence refers to the knowledge of one's internal strengths and limitations and using that knowledge to effectively relate to others. Philosophers and spiritual leaders present examples of this type of intelligence. Naturalistic intelligence is the eighth and the last of the multiple intelligences. It involves complete awareness of our relationship with the natural world. Hunters, farmers, tourists, botanists, zoologists, and bird watchers possess more of naturalistic intelligence. In conclusion, today we have looked at individual differences or variations, different psychological attributes, assessment and assessment methods. We have looked at two approaches to looking at intelligence, five theories under the psychometric approach, and the theory of multiple intelligences. Make sure to review your notes before joining for class tomorrow. Thank you for listening.